just feels weird, John, that you're not. We don't have the music to know when we're cued in.
Do you want me to play the music?
No.
Hey guys,
listen,
this is
we know what
Grab
it
'em
is.
in the Brisket podcast. We appreciate you tuning in every week, multiple times a week. Mm-hmm. Today we got a nice interview for you guys. We got Chuck's Flavortrain, and
He's coming on board. He's coming on board.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm hoping the energy's there.
Dude, have you seen him?
Dude, I have seen it.
we know the energy's
But
good.
you know,
I'm
hey,
thinking
listen.
about getting him to rap some of our intros and whatnot.
Here's the deal. I've seen people do their own thing, and I've seen people answer some questions, and they're like, deer in the headlight. They just can't do it. So I'm very hopeful. I think this is going to be good. We'll see.
I'll just say I listened to his podcast with Rage and Pillage.
Yep.
Dude can talk.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Good. Nice. I didn't see that.
So it's not going to be bad.
Not going to be bad.
It's going to be good.
All right.
If I thought it'd be bad, I'd cancel.
Listen.
No, it's going to be great. I always have this like little thing off in the back of my brain. Not really fantasy or whatever, but I'm going to make it on TV. All of us, we're going to make it on TV. Probably news, probably cooking something, doing something, whatever. And then they're going to go live, and they're going to have the news broadcaster, and they're going to go, "Hey, RK's there, and hey, we're here with Grabbing the Brisket here. We got James here. What are we doing, guys?" And she's going to stick the microphone in my face, or I'm going to have whatever, and I'm going to go, just like blank look for like at least 3 seconds.
They're going to snap
Before I go,
to collect
I'm just
yourself?
kidding, guys. Hey, this is Grabbing the Brisket here, and just troll with them.
I love that.
Okay.
Hey, I wish that would happen, James.
Yes.
Wish that would happen.
He said it might. I don't know.
It's going to happen, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
So, John, let's get Chuck on the Brisket phone.
Brisket hotline?
Brisket
hotline.
Are we calling it the Brisket phone or Brisket hotline?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. Was there a brisket thing in the sky?
Yeah.
Like you call for Batman? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like a shape of a brisket.
Right.
Yeah. The brisket signal?
Yeah, it's a big square. That's a brisket hotline. Oh, I better go.
There's some like dumb
Honey,
superhero.
No, honey, I have to go. They're calling me.
No, really quick.
Shit.
Really quick.
It can't be worse than fucking Meteor Man. Or what's the one with the Wayans brother? What is that one?
I don't know.
No, we don't.
He was that
about it.
superhero.
You can't say
I
that.
was thinking Square Man. There's going to be like some Square Man superpower dude, and he looks up a square. It's my time, honey. Let's go.
Okay.
Like no. That's for a brisket.
That's our brisket, bro.
Okay.
All right,
I'm bringing
let's
him
get
on.
Chuck
All right, bring him on.
Hello, Chuck. Can you hear us?
What up, brother?
Chuck,
Yes, sir. You hear me?
we can. You're coming in loud and clear.
Good.
We
How
all
y'all
coming
doing?
in. We're doing good, man. How are you doing over there?
Can't complain. Prepping, living life, trying to deal with dinner, social media, job, keeping myself fat, happy, and fed. It's a blessing,
That's a blessing right there. I love that. Fat, happy, and fed.
Yeah. Exactly,
Just got the title of the
Yeah, no
episode.
complaint.
Just out of the way already.
Right there. Hey, I'm serious. We take something from every episode when we're interviewing somebody, and they'll usually the guest will make the title of the episode. Very rarely do we say something that's like, okay, that has to be it.
Right.
But way to do that, because that's like really like the first 3 seconds. Fat, happy, and fed. Boom.
I did one thing right. That works.
Perfect. I think this concludes the Grabbing the Brisket episode.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us.
I'll
Thanks,
see you
man.
guys next time. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
it.
All right.
Thank you. Call again.
Hey, you're going to hear a bunch of voices, right? There's 5 of us in this room. So if somebody's saying something, you're like, oh, I think I know who that is. You probably don't at this point, because there's so many different voices going to be coming at you. And James is the one that has the what would you call the voice, James?
I don't know if I have.
Okay, well, that's fine.
name for
That's
the
enough.
voice.
That's enough, James.
That just sounds weird.
That's enough. I'll take over from here.
Okay, thank you.
Also, this is kind of this is definitely this is barbecue first, right? And then we are kind of a beer podcast as well. So if you're drinking tonight, feel free to grab a cold one.
I'm drinking every day. I got a
There we
vodka
go.
juice right now, but
There
I got
you-
the beer getting ready for me. I got a little triple fruited sour I'll be drinking, so I'll pour that up
nice.
for you.
Nice. Just
Okay.
finished a sour.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
We're definitely trying something new and whatever else. Each podcast we do a beer review, usually on our minis or whatever else that we'll do one. But every week we do a different beer and we'll rate them and whatever else. So.
I try to rate like 3 or 4 beers a day myself. If I have time,
That's
I
what
don't know.
I
I
feel
got
like
responsibilities and a job, so
I feel like we're definitely gonna be best friends right now.
Yeah.
Seriously. You're living my life.
Yeah, I'm trying to live my best life for everybody. You know, if you guys can't do it, you can live vicariously through me.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Well, I listen. I definitely so I will start. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're dealing with some thunder issues over here. So, man, if you hear thunder going on, just keep it going. John's a pretty good cut man over there, so we'll just keep everything going.
No worries. And my daughter, she'll be 3 this coming Thursday, but she'll be running around here. So if you hear screaming, yelling, anything in the background, that's her.
That just lends to the authenticity.
Big word, man.
It's a huge word.
Exactly,
It's a huge word.
Can't fake it. People are like, "Oh, you can't get your daughter quiet." I'm like, "Do you have a 3-year-old? Do you ever try to get a kid to shut up?" You know what I'm saying? It's insanity,
Right. It's illegal to use chloroform. Okay.
Exactly. You know, you can't put them to sleep. It's like there's a scene. I don't know if you've seen Zohan with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
He wants to be a hairdresser, and he's trying to cut the kid's hair, and the kid cries. He uses like military choke. The kid goes to sleep. But my wife and I always joke. It's like, man, I wish I could just Zohan this girl right now. Just go to sleep. You know.
That's awesome. So that nap time little infomercial, that wasn't real?
Yeah.
No.
Nap time. Here you go. Yeah.
That commercial was great,
Yeah,
though.
And it's so funny, nap time. It's like we have friends whose kids don't nap. She'll be 3, but she still naps for like 2 hours a day, roughly, which is like nice. But
Hey, it's
even
healthy.
2 hours, when it's like, you know, when a newborn sleeps all day, it's like 2 hours. Like, how do you not have less energy than that? How are you not sleeping more? It's like you get up at 6 a.m., you run around all damn day. It's like, share some of that energy with me, you know?
Right. Oh man.
Hey, Chuck, welcome to the Grabbing the Brisket podcast. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join and talk a little barbecue, beer, and just whatever else comes to mind. Hey, we got Chuck with Chuck's Flavortrain. And so I'm familiar, John, and a lot of these guys here are familiar with your work and your social media presence. Kind of just let's go back to. I mean, I hate to always do this, but let's go back to the beginning. Like, how did you get into doing the cooking and the barbecue and stuff like that?
Of course, yeah, no, it's weird. It's one of those things I feel like it's such a boring, simple, fast story, but long story short, and it hasn't been a long time. I mean, I got a smoker, a Weber Smoky Mountain Christmas in 2016. So, you know, just a little bit over 4 years ago. No, yeah, 4 years, 4 months ago. I got that smoker. I've been posting on IG a little bit more of the Italian food, the Asian food, things like that I make. Got the smoker in 2016. And then right away, I saw a growth in followers. Nothing crazy, you know, but from like 70 to like 300 just from the barbecue community. And then that shit started turning to addiction. You guys know how it is. Oh, man, I like this smoker. I like that smoker. Oh, I can smoke a brisket. I can smoke a pork butt. Oh, well, shit, my homies want to hang out Sunday, drink some beers. It's like, all right, let's get some cuts from the deli or the market, whatever. We're going to throw this bad boy down. So everything started growing from there. Next thing you know, cut to that summer. So not even a long time period of time went by. August of that summer, a friend hit me up, a family friend. Hey, our daughter graduating. She's going away to college. Do you want to cook for her party? I had only done a gig prior to that, cooking for some of my parents' family friends, Italian food. But I said, sure, why not? I cater. Bullshitting. You know, you got to brisket for the brisket.
That's how it is. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Exactly.
By saying the words, yes, I'll do it. Of course I do that. That's how you get into doing shit. I love that.
Exactly. And then and that's really what it was. And so I did that gig, and that went well. Friends were saying, oh, the food's good. Can you do this or that? And cut to now, I mean, you know, I've got an LLC, I've got a business, I do catering, private events, things like that. But it really was all just a matter of meeting that community. You know, I'll go back to that posting online. You meet people that are in your area that cook, people that use your smoker. Or, hey, man, I saw you did this. Don't do that, or try this. And it all just grows. You know, next thing it's like, you know, my wife would be like, who are you talking to? It's like, man, I got 27 different girlfriends. And by different girlfriends, I mean the smoker guys that I'm talking to all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we're up all night talking barbecue, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, it really is an addiction. And now I'm blessed to say that I'm hopefully on the verge of quitting my job soon. But, no, I'm able to cook and cater a lot. It really is a blessing. I have fun doing it. And my backyard is like my paradise, so I don't got to go far to be happy.
Right. Isn't that great? Like, you know, you get off work and you're like, I am going to stop by the store. I'm going to pick up some meat. I'm going to go home
and some alcohol.
Let's not forget the alcohol. And I'm going to smoke or grill, or I'm going to prepare something, right? And then you're like, I'm feeding my family in the same process, and I'm talking to a million different people online and networking and whatever else. And it's like, it's almost like you just can't wait to get home. You know what I mean? Like, you're rushing home. Like, don't get me wrong, family makes you rush home anyways. I understand that and whatever. But it's so freaking cool that this is what it's led into. Like, this is, I mean, to be honest with you, this is what I love about barbecue. I love going, like, I cannot wait to come home. And when I mean home, I mean like back to this neighborhood and start cooking some shit every weekend. That's all we talk about. Every day is like, what are we going to cook? What do we want to do? What you know what I mean?
100% correct. And I mean, obviously, family is what gets me to rush home. Family is my life. And,
Yep.
You know, family is my motivating force, what keeps me happy. But I was going through some dark shit, man, before this. I was depressed for a while, and getting this smoker kind of coincided with being happy, and that whole kind of culture and everything community kind of was a vessel to get me where I am now, where I can rely on my people. But cooking was my therapy, and still is my therapy. You know, it's like I don't see a shrink. I go out back, crack a beer, sit out in Mother Nature, listen to the birds chirp, roll some smoke, and it's like, damn, man, life don't get no better than this. My daughter's playing in the yard. We get to eat together. So, yeah, it's weird that it's something that is fun, therapeutic, and you literally get to share love with the world, whether you're posting a video on social media or giving food to your family or sharing with your neighbors or donating to a charity in the area. You know, the area. It's something that is good for you. It's good for people around you. It's fun. It's therapeutic. It's like a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. You know, so I'm all in on it.
You know, I feel like I'm just going to me and you're going to have a conversation. That's what this is going to be right here. I've seen your videos, and I was like, you know, this guy is so. John said the word earlier. Charismatic, right? I really think that you have a charisma when you're on talking about, like, your brisket video blew me away. I was like, Jesus, why can't I be this good? You know what I mean? And it's your presentation for the whole thing. I was like, fucking A, like, this is really freaking good. And it just hit in all spots. I thought the brisket was killer, right? I think that bark was killer. John, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm pretty charismatic too. I don't know if you saw my video today where I dumped half a pork butt down my lap.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm pretty smooth.
Yeah. So it's like,
not to toot your own horn or anything.
Right. So one, Chuck, let's just talk about this. One was like a very sexy brisket, and one was like the Three Stooges doing some pork, right? Like, I thought the pork was killer.
It was killer.
Yeah, you know,
my dog loved it.
Right.
I think one of the cool things about it, and I mean, for lack of a better word, and this isn't a Joe Cool thing, but that's maybe my stoner slacker side coming out. But I got to a point last year when the coronavirus was happening and everything on TikTok, coronavirus was happening. I started posting on TikTok, and I was taking old Instagram videos, but whatever, the sound didn't work, the sound didn't translate. I hadn't done sound. It was Instagram music. So I started redoing voiceovers. And I'm just kind of in my bucket mode, whatever. I have fun. I don't really give a shit what people think. If you like me, cool. If not, whatever. You know, I grew up a fat black kid in Napa, and I was 6'2", 330 pounds in third grade. So I'm used to get looking at funny, you know. So I didn't really give a shit. Just started doing it, saying crazy stuff, having fun with it, and showing off all my sides. You know, I am loud. I'm rambunctious. I can be obnoxious. I also like to be sultry and sexy, you know, and talk kind of quiet and have some fun with it. Meat is sexy and sensual. And then I'm also a family dude. So I just said, fuck it, started showing every part of myself. And I think the blessing for me and what I'm thankful for is someone that, despite my bravado, I am very kind of shy and reserved. I do like my quiet time, my downtime. I do have a very fragile ego and very hard on myself. But people like the authenticity. You know, I don't try to fake shit. I try to put myself out. So whether it's trying to say, look, man, I'm a boss with a brisket, or hey, baby, let's have some fun, roll some pulled pork, no knives required, spreads like butter, whatever it is, I'm just trying to have fun with it. And people have responded to that. And in turn, that has given me motivation, strength, inspiration to continue being myself. You know, it's like, oh shit, I don't got to fake nothing. People do like me as I am, and I can do this. And it just so happens that I'm a decent cook / barbecue / pitmaster, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So it's all just kind of been a crazy flurry and storm. And I appreciate the kind words. I really do. You know, I would say I'm like 70% charismatic, 30% annoying, 100% asshole and alcoholic. So you guys are just seeing the charismatic side on camera, you know.
Okay, that's the title of the episode.
No, but it really is. It's like, again, I mean, people are on their phone for a short period of time. I like to have fun. I'm not trying to get into politics and bullshit. If I can get your attention for 30 seconds to a minute, super dope. If I can inspire you to cook something or have fun with something, that's even fucking better. So that's what it's about for me.
I love that. And first, John, we need you to do a little more sexy voice on your voiceovers.
How's this, James?
Yeah, no, it sounds great.
You know what's funny about the sexy voice, I will say, is, again, you know, I keep bringing up my family. But my daughter, when I first started recording last year, my daughter was still taking 2 naps a day, sleeping in later in the morning. And I'd have these videos I have to record. My wife's sleeping, the daughter's sleeping. So I couldn't be like, hey, everybody. So I'm talking all quiet. Instead, I wasn't even trying to be sexy. I just, everybody, this morning we're cooking. And people are like, oh, dude, you sound like the Barry White of beef. And, like the Morgan Freeman of meats. And I'm like,
oh my God, that's the title.
I'm just sitting here trying to be quiet. I'm not even trying to sound sexy or funny or anything. So it's funny. Some of it's all natural. It's just crazy how things happen, Yep,
100%.
So have you had any training in culinary school, or is this just all self-taught, just learning as you go?
Self-taught, learning as I go. I grew up cooking a little bit, I guess. I always knew how to cook good fried eggs in the pan, cook some bacon. My dad was an old school New York strip guy. My parents were a little older, but my dad was one of those generations. New York strip is the king. We got to have New York steaks every night type thing. So I can cook those on a gas grill. I can make good spaghetti. That was it. I always watched Emeril Lagasse growing up. Bam! Kick it up a notch, all that. Maybe that's where I get some of my flair, pizzazz, and panache. Who knows? And then from there it was, Guy Fieri and all that. And we're the YouTube generation. So it's like, I'm a fat kid, playing football and shit like that. You got the homies over, you want to eat. It's like, I'm just going to Google how to cook this. And it's like, okay, well, shit, Chuck's making steak with red wine, braised broccoli and whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, damn, I just Googled that. And cut to now, it's like, it's the same process. I don't really do recipes. People will say in the video, dude, how did you cook this? It's like, well, I explained what I did in the video. As for a recipe, I don't fucking know. Like a pinch of this, a dash of that, figure it out. If you season it doesn't taste right, put some more shit up in there, That's the way I was kind of viewing it. It's like,
I would love to put that on a shirt right there. If you put some more shit up in there. Let's go. Quit fucking.
I don't know if you guys look up a recipe though. Sometimes it's just crazy because I'll look up recipes here or there. Sometimes just random. Oh, this is something I've never made. I don't know what the fuck goes in it, so I'll Google it or whatever. I'll try to follow a recipe, and immediately I'm like, this needs more salt. It needs more butter, more acid. So I do that. But the problem is not a lot of people understand that you need to taste and adjust.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you'll see recipes sometimes like, oh, needed more salt. You're making it. You're in your own fucking kitchen. Put more salt in it. Then It's like you don't have to do exactly what the recipe says.
Right? They try to bag on you.
Something exactly. It's like if I cook and someone's like, "Oh my god, that looks good, but I don't like spicy rub, bro. So I don't like this." Okay, do you have this rub in your house? First of all, you don't even have it. Yeah. Cool. Then use something different. Use what you like. And that's what I was stressed with cooking. Like it shouldn't be a strict religious thing. I'm not with that French cuisine type philosophy. Have fun, do what you like, do what works for you, and make it work for you. Cooking is evolved and changing all the time. And the reason that happens is because people are trying new shit. If everyone did the same thing all the time, every time, there would be no evolution. We'd all be eating the same exact thing.
Absolutely,
the reason
man.
there's these differences is because people have fun and make things work. So that's what I stress. There are no rules with cooking.
I guess, ingredients it's more of a recommendation than anything else. You know what I mean? We recommend you put this
guideline.
Yeah, it's like a guideline for sure.
100%. It's like if I see you make your pasta recipe or whatever, something basic, or how you cook a steak. Okay, man, you did your steak like this and you seasoned it with this. The technique. Oh, I don't like the seasoning. I don't like how you cooked it. But you know what? You brought up resting meat. I never rested my meat before. That's something I'll put in the data bank. So even if you don't like something, you can learn something from it and put it into what you do and try to, put your own twist, flair, spin on it.
I love that. I think you're exactly right. I think that people get way too critical on a recipe or trying to say hey, I tried this, I didn't like it. You're like, well, did you try it exactly the way that I did that? I don't. It's hard to follow directions. First of all, for a lot of people, anyways. But at the same time, if you don't like garlic, why are you putting garlic on the recipe? That just doesn't make any sense. Skip the garlic.
And I don't try to get into the negativity, especially on social media. I try to only post positive shit, but sometimes you'll get a message from someone and it's like, hey, bro, I saw you did this. What you should do is do this. Right. And I'll say back, you know what? I could do that. What would be better is you should go get it, do it, make a video, post it, and share it. You know what I'm saying? Don't blow up my DMs with your negative bullshit. Instead of coming at me with negativity, why don't you try to present it in a positive manner of your own spin? And that's what I'll try to people. Get out of the DMs, get out there and do it. Get out there and cook. show your spin. You know, it's like, you don't like what I do, then do it better. That's cool. I see shit all the time. I don't hate on that person. I try to make it the way I would do it. You know, it's like, and that's what I would say to everybody. Make what you like.
No, that's so. We had this thing where we did James and John, and I guess we were all over there when we did this slicing video we were trimming a brisket, right? And it was more of a more of a hybrid, right? It was more of a, because we're big competition guy. We do a lot of competition barbecue where when you trim a brisket, it can't really look like your backyard brisket. It can't look like, right? It's just a different brisket. More fat has to come off.
It's like surgery.
Yeah, it is, and it has to be more of aerodynamic. It's just whatever. But man, we got roasted on some of these things, and I'm like,
and it's got to fit in the box. It's like
that's the thing. It's
freaking 10 by 10 box.
It's a 9. It's a 9
by 9 box. It has to fit in there.
So.
And people are probably saying, "Oh, you're wasting meat too much.
You're trimming all the goodness. So why would you waste that fat?" And you're like,
or you got to trim it after you cook it. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Why would you trim it after you cook it? No,
after you cook, then I cut away all my bark. And
exactly.
Yeah, made no sense.
And just the fact that they even say that, though, so it's like you're coming at it with a negative perception of, first of all, how do you know I didn't save this for chili, ground it up for burgers, render this down tallow? Like even cutting it and trimming it, like. People literally will grind up brisket for burgers. So if I smoke a part of it and cut it, why are you going to assume that I'm just wasting it?
So we actually said that. I don't understand. Yeah, no, we actually said that in the video. We said, listen, don't throw this away. Use this for hamburgers. Use this for this, whatever else. But they were so critiquing on how much fat was taken off of this brisket, and I was like, this is coming from a bunch of people that have never.
Right, it's never the people that are actually
never been in a competition,
and they're not part of the barbecue community for the most part. They're just random schmoes on there that think they know something about something.
Yeah.
I get it. I love Chuck's mindset. I mean, never engaging with the negativity, always staying with the positive. I mean, that's just
can't help myself sometimes.
I know, John.
It makes it very difficult.
And you're right. And it's like the only reason that I'm like not engaged, because I'm a smart ass. I am. Like me and my homies, like we all talk mad shit. It's like I always said, like if me and my homies would leak the DMs, it's like, oh man, like Chuck's friends are racist. They hate black people. And Chuck hates that. It's like, no, dude, we're talking shit. We're homies. We say terrible things.
Right.
You know, it's like, but when I'm joking like online, that gets lost in translation. And I had an incident like I used to tell people like, oh, if they say some dumb shit, I'd be like, oh, take your fist, look at your hand, look at your hand, ball it up into a fist, and ram it into your face. I would just comment that back, joking at people. And I commented to one kid one time, and he like freaked the fuck out. Like, and I'm like, of course, he's like 15, doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, well, let that be a lesson to you. Don't talk shit to someone if you can't take it back. But beyond that, I'm like, whatever. You never know how people are going to take it. So me just trying to be a positive vessel and not engage with the negativity, I'm like, I don't even want to go joking anymore. Right. So if you're a little kid or an old head, I don't care. You say some cool shit, whatever, random, even advice framed positively, I'll engage. But if it's negative, I just can't do it anymore. Just because, one, you don't know how people are going to respond, and I don't want to put more negativity out there, you know. It's like,
that's awesome,
darkness breeds darkness, light breeds light, whatever, all that corny shit, you know. So
right.
Trying to keep it positive.
And I have to commend John because he deals with all the day-to-day social media stuff for us, and I think he kind of shields a lot of us from some of the negativity. At least me, he doesn't show me, and I don't ask either. Like, hey, what are you saying? I'm always because I don't care. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like we jumped on live before we started the podcast just to engage with the listeners and to get some questions for you, and then we had somebody pop on like, what is this? Is this the French kissing club?
Yeah.
I'm like, one, okay, yeah, that's creative, funny, I get it. All right.
What did I tell him?
Yeah, your mom's fixing to be here. That's what you said.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
I couldn't help it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I actually tried to like the comment, but you can't like the comment. I thought it was funny, but you know what? The dude stuck around and he was listening to all the comment that came out, like all the tips and tricks that we're talking about when it comes to spare ribs, baby back ribs. We're giving a whole bunch of stuff out, right? So I mean, the dude stayed. He didn't leave. He was just like, I'm gonna listen for a second.
Yeah, right.
So
pick up on something.
Yeah.
And that's what I've realized. I think even those that talk shit, it's like you don't engage, and they see you talking to them saying something positive. I've seen people delete their comments. They'll say something nice after, or they'll shoot you a DM.
That's right.
Like, generally speaking, like, you ignore it and just keep the good energy good, and people either come around, they get bored, go elsewhere, but just don't pay no attention to it, and shit kind of goes away.
Sure. Okay.
So I've got a question for you, and since you said 2016 was kind of when you guys get it started there, was that right?
Yeah, I mean, again,
Okay.
I'm a fat kid, so I mean, food has always been my life.
Oh no, I'm right
as
there.
far as, as smoking meats and things like that, and backyard barbecue,
Yep.
yeah, 2016 is when it all started.
What is your favorite barbecue dish right now? Like you're just like I'm doing it right now. I love doing it because it evolves for me. I'm always trying something different, and once I get something I really like, I'm like, I'll wear it out. Right? Do you have one right now that you're like it's your go-to?
Yeah, and it's funny. I'm sure if my wife was here, if I asked her, she'd answer it for me. But brisket.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's been brisket for a while. It's a fucking treat, man, first of all.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah.
When you get it right, even if you get it like 70%, it's still pretty fucking good. But the process itself is always different, from trimming to the smoke to what type of smoker you're running on to the weather outside. Is it select choice prime? Is it grass fed? And then it's like always like a test, you know? So that's what it is, brisket. I'm doing them all the time. I got 2 in the freezer right now. I did 3 in the past week, you know? It's like, so yeah, brisket baby all day. It's in my catering business. I say brisket's the money maker. You know, Gordon Ramsay gave me a shout out on TikTok. It's like my brisket's official. So brisket all fucking day.
I love it.
Outside of that, or I guess prior to that, it probably would have been like beef short ribs, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
A beef short is always nice. So, but yeah, brisket has been my goal for, not goal, but, you know, love, passion, obsession for probably like 2 years now. I mean, really, it's like it probably will never stop, you know?
I know you can't beat a brisket, right? You just, once you nail a brisket, you're like, holy shit, this is what it's supposed to be like, right? And so but now I love cooking brisket, and I'm always thinking of something different outside the box on it.
Well, you got the versatility of the leftover brisket. So
that's what I'm talking about. So now, so now we're always trying to come up with a different dish for brisket. And one that we did early on is we smoked a brisket, and then we partnered with a local donut shop, and they did brisket kolaches.
Yeah.
You probably don't even know what a kolache is out there.
You know what a kolache is?
I don't know.
So
pig in a blanket.
We don't have those in California.
Yeah, pig in a blanket. So it's like a think of like a dough that's been rolled out, right?
Like a pastry with
not a pastry. It's like it's a dough, right? And then think about stuffing the brisket. Stuffing the dough with brisket, almost like a calzone, really, right?
Kinda. It's kind of a sweet,
but it's
not Swedish, sweet-ish.
Yep.
Dough.
And then instead of like putting like sauce in there, you would cheese, jalapeno, whatever else whatever. Oh my God, man, it's a game changer. Right now, if you started selling those damn things, you'd be selling out.
Yeah, it's like I guess like an empanada, but it's a different dough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, empanadas are fucking delicious. Any type of meat pie, like, you know, is always delicious in my opinion. But yeah, even brisket itself, you know, going back, I think part of it, like, you know, brisket isn't big out here. California isn't really known. I think it's getting better, and it's kind of trying to develop its own sense and identity, but brisket isn't big out here. So to get good brisket is damn near fucking impossible. And I like to say that, like, in my area, like, I don't think you'll find a better brisket person. Like, I don't give a shit who else is around me within like 200 miles. I don't think you can probably find a better brisket than I'm putting out. And that's only because I haven't traveled outside that radius to experience it. But even within that, it's not like there's a lot of briskets. You know, within that 200-mile radius all around me, you could probably get, you know, legit brisket from like 3 places, maybe, you know? So I also think that part of my obsession for it is it's not something to get, where there are rib spots out here, you know, and the reason why, because people, you know, restaurants out here, especially I'm right by Napa Valley, San Francisco, restaurants out here, you can put in little indoor rotisseries or things like that, or little indoor wood ovens and do ribs, and you can get that out for dinner service. But, you know, in the city or in Napa, they don't got spots where they can put out big ass smokers, you know, and do brisket. So I think the fact that brisket is so hard to get for me, and it's so hard to find for people in general, has helped feed that drive.
Nice. What's your thought on? So are you a sauce guy or not a sauce guy on your brisket? Like if you slice brisket,
I'm a no sauce on my brisket.
That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm saying right there.
You don't need sauce on a brisket, in my opinion.
That's
it shouldn't be sweet. You don't want that vinegar. You don't need extra added savory. If you want more savory, dip it in those motherfucking drippings. Soak up them juices.
That is your sauce. Yeah. Okay, so if you take that juice, that au jus, right, that comes down in your pan or in your foil or whatever you're doing, right? If you trap that and then use an oil separator, right? It's the oil.
Yeah, exactly, and it's gold. You've got liquid gold. You could fucking put that in a needle and shoot that shit like heroin if you want.
That's what I'm saying. You could take. So I have not done this. So you take it, you separate it, and take those drippings. Have you injected that into your next brisket?
So I've heard about that. I have not done that.
It's almost
another trick too, and this is kind of combining because I make a lot of ramen, like the Tonkatsu Broth. You've got like the pork stock that's cooked down, right? So with that, there's that fat layer. The reason the Tonkatsu Broth is so creamy is you basically blend the liquid and the fat in that sauce that's down. The oil, fat. See, try that with your brisket drippings next time, and you basically have like a creamy au jus gravy. Pour that shit over the top. You don't have to separate it. Leave the fat in there and emulsify. It's fucking gold. Try that out next time. But I will also try the separator injecting. That's got to be a game changer.
I love that. I love that. And listen, it's like candy right there. Like you just dip it. Like I'll put it on my French fries. Like I'll put it on mashed potatoes. Like what do you want?
Put it in your beer.
Put it in my beer. I will do whatever it is. It tastes so freaking good. It's unreal.
And what not bothers me, but something I'll preach on Instagram. One, I always say, and not just Instagram, any social media, unless you have 30 people right there waiting, ready to eat your brisket, don't slice the whole fucking thing. I know people think it looks cool to see 20 slices lined up with the smoke ring. They all like that picture. It oxidizes as soon as it's cut and is exposed to air. And unless you're feeding people, why are you cutting a whole brisket? And then when I see that picture and I think, shit, looking at that, I need water. If you are going to slice the whole thing, at least dip it back in that jus that we're talking about.
That's right.
So to slice the whole brisket, not dip it in those juices, and you have a whole sliced brisket just sitting there exposed to air, you're literally killing your brisket. Even if you cook it sitting out there sliced for 5 minutes, that shit's going to be dry. That's what happens, you know? So there's like a lot of little things like that, too. Like that stuff is gold for more than one reason, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing that we learned doing competition is that we would go ahead and slice most of the slices because we're trying to pick out the perfect slices.
But it's all done within like 20 minutes, right? It's a 20-minute turn. So we're slicing everything in 20 minutes.
But we learned, like, okay, dip the slices into the au jus, and that'll help slow the oxidation process, and it won't dry out as quickly.
Yep, that's right.
Exactly.
Plus, it just
knowledge.
tastes like
Plus, it tastes like badass. Like,
it's like a flavor bomb, you know? It's insane.
So what's your go-to smoker when you're doing a brisket?
Yeah, so as far as brisket and my favorite smoker, it's the Pit Barrel. Fast, reliable, quality flavor every time. I can get a brisket done on there about 7 to 9 hours, and that's the big boy I'm talking. I like the flavor it gets. You get the fat drippings dripping right on the coals right there. I love the offset as well, but I got a day job during the week. And on the weekends, I like to be around my daughter as much as I can. So to do a brisket and be out there for 13, 14 hours on a Sunday, as awesome as that product tastes, I want to be around my family, my daughter. So if it wasn't for the time and effort, which is hats off to everyone that can do it every day, not that I don't like the offset, but the Pit Barrel gets it done. It's quality, quick, consistent. It's fucking delicious. So Pit Barrel followed by the offset.
Yep.
Yeah, can I ask, like, without giving out too much information as far as, like, who you work for or whatever, but what do you do grinding throughout the work week?
Oh, hardly a grind. I mean, it's only a grind in the sense that I don't like it. But no, I'm in the insurance industry. Let's just say you're in good hands. So
yeah.
And
Pedro Serrano, again, I like it.
Yeah, right. And it's a great job. I'm happy to do it. My whole family's kind of in the industry. It's just not my passion. You know, it's like insurance is cool, it's safe, but it doesn't excite me talking about it. We start talking food or meats or barbecue, my fucking heart starts racing.
Come on, man. You don't want to talk deductibles and shit?
No, right? Exactly.
Come on, dude.
So it's just, and it's not a bad gig. It is what it is. It's just not the dream, you know?
Yeah, I always love the rando conversations at work where you come across my work, oil and gas industry, and so, you know, a big facility, and then, you know, I'm not saying I'm the best at cooking barbecue or just cooking in general, but it's always nice to hear like that coworker that someone's like, they start talking about barbecue. I'm like, your ears kind of perk up a little, like, let me just see what's going on over here. Brisket,
you're a real person, not just a robot I see at the office, you know?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, and that's the one cool thing about being on the phone all day in insurance. Generally, people are pissed off calling about accidents or rape. I understand.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you get someone. It's like, oh, I'm going to the lake this weekend to barbecue, and that's oh, you barbecue? I'm in. Perfect. Doesn't matter. I'm going to sell you on it, and we're going to talk barbecue. We're going to have a good time. Shit, we might even get together for beers later. But yeah, you pick up those little cues. Or we're redoing our roof right now at the house, and the guy that came out a couple of weeks ago to just look around before. Said, oh, you got a smoker out back? And I said, oh, I got a few. He said, oh, you've got like 9. And I said, oh, yeah, it's kind of a hobby. When they said, oh, well, I have an egg. I got a couple. Pulled out a cell phone. We talked for 20 minutes. And sure enough, that's the guy I went with. It's like, got a great deal. Good dude. We bonded over barbecue. I'm off tomorrow. Thursdays I'm off, so I'm home. So I'll be cooking barbecue while they're working, trying to feed those guys. But, yeah, anytime you pick up, that someone barbecues or smokes or something to the grill, like, it's always nice.
Man, I know a guy that was actually in the middle of building his house from scratch, brand new, right? He used to show up twice a week while the builders were building, and he would get out a grill or smoker. He smoked and he served all the guys that were working on his house, like twice a week.
As it should be. It should be.
Should be.
Give the love back.
Let me tell you,
people appreciate that. They'll remember. And maybe they'll work a little bit harder too.
I tell you what, he got so many extras added in. There were so many things that they did, like rounded. You don't think about rounded corners throughout your whole house, all thrown in. Like there were so many things that were thrown into this thing. He was like, dude, he goes, like I may have spent maybe $800 the whole time in meat and just whatever's cooking for these guys. He said, but I got thousands and thousands of dollars we paid back. And he goes, and he really truthfully, he never asked for anything. He was like, I'm not doing it. I just want to be here with these guys. These guys are working on my house. It was pretty cool. I was like, holy crap. And I walked through his house. He's like, I'd never pay for that, never pay for this, never pay for that. This extra window over here, didn't pay for that. I'm like, a window? Think about that for a second. Like, there's a window contractor.
It's crazy. And I think people forget or take for granted the value of food. Like I was saying before, when people get good food or quality food, or even if it's not good, people have shitty barbecue, but they don't get barbecue at all or ever. It's just a blessing and a gift. So I think that's where people kind of forget that, oh, yeah, not everybody does this, or not everybody has access to this, or not everyone even gets a hot meal every day. So when you're sharing that, I think you'd be surprised, the things you get back. And again, I don't ever do it with that intention, but again, likewise, you'd be surprised at the relationships you make just by sharing a meal or donating a meal or cooking for someone.
That's right.
So with you not really getting a whole lot of like the prime briskets and stuff like that up there in California, it's kind of like twofolds. Like we here in Texas do not get a lot of great tri-tips, which I know that's pretty prevalent in California.
Yeah, and I think it goes both ways. It's like we can get prime tri-tip out here. Costco now is loaded with prime tri-tip. And then, again, with the internet, and especially now because of the virus, all these companies are selling online. Me personally, I don't have anything against the prime tri-tip, especially from Costco. If you can get it, it's a decent deal. Although the price is damn near doubled during the pandemic. But I've always prided myself on being able to cook fucking anything. So, like the other day, I cooked a select brisket, that I didn't even pick out. I got delivered via Instacart from the Food Max in my town, and it was fucking bomb, And I'm always trying to tell people, like, it's one thing if, oh man, my brisket's always good because I'm getting $500 Wagyu brisket, right? Cooking them. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That's fucking easy. That's like saying, oh, I cook filet mignon and it's tender. Right. No shit, dude. You have to fuck it up to make it tough.
It's hard to fuck up a prime brisket, but if you can cook a select brisket,
let alone like a high grade Wagyu brisket, it's like you get a Wagyu brisket, that's a different level. So even prime takes a little more skill than that. No, I'm not hating on. I'm trying to say, like, for me, it's about, I want to cook a brisket, I'm going to hit the store and fucking, oh, this store has the liquor I want today, so that's where I'm going. Like, I'm not like, oh, shit, I'm driving an hour and a half to get a prime brisket. So I'm going to go to my local butcher store, whatever they got, that's what I'm cooking. But you're right, tri-tip's a little different now. Like, tri-tip out here, I can go to my local and they'll have 4 different types of tri-tip. Or they'll have tri-tip Safeway brand, they'll have 3 local farms out here in California. So, I mean, it really does depend. And it's like, you've probably seen the shift with brisket. Tri-tip used to be like a cheap thing out here. Growing up, playing Little League, 5th inning, games over in the 6th inning. I'm like, shit, I just hit a home run. In between innings, I'm going to go to the Little League stand, get some Alligators and soda pop and a tri-tip sandwich. And that tri-tip sandwich came with a soda pop for like $4. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Now you go out and you want a tri-tip sandwich, it's like $16. It's like, And it's like, even over the past like 3 years from when I started pushing on social media, it's like I go out and get a full prime grade tri-tip for $14. Now I go out and get a prime grade tri-tip. Even in California, I'm paying $30. You know, it's like that's like for an average prime, I can get, you know, kind of a craft prime tri-tip from one of the farms or ranchers out here, and I'm paying $45 in California. So, yeah, we have access to it, but the price has definitely been inflated. And I think social media, it's a blessing in that you're exposing these people to cuts and things they haven't had before. The downfall to that is because people are getting exposed to it, the demand for it goes up, which drives up the prices. So, there's a lot of, you know.
I agree with you. I was talking to John just now off thing, and he said, hey, today he went to HEB, and
they're like 30-something bucks for a tri-tip.
Like $35, $36 for a tri-tip. However, I went and bought, it's probably maybe been a year ago, but I bought a tri-tip. I think it was like $18.
Yeah, they've gone up.
So that's like that's double the price in a year. So
yeah, it's just like, it's bananas, you know. It's like, and again, it's awesome, good for the farmers, good for, you know, everyone involved in the industry, but it's just crazy to see how fast it can be impacted and how fast it could change, you know.
What about skirt steak? You'll make fajitas, skirt steak. Have you seen the prices go up on those things? Because here,
so
you can't afford skirt steak.
Yeah, so you can still find a skirt steak for a decent price. I hear it just depends. But it's funny, like, I always joke, Pagey Papa Fancy, like Nancy, Napa Valley Negro. Growing up out here in Napa, San Francisco, there's all these gastropubs, bistros. I mean, I was eating hanger steaks and skirt steaks like 10 years ago, fucking drunk after college, you know, at the little pubs in my town. And it's like, they're everywhere. And it's like, not even on tacos. It'd be like, oh, you know, a seared hanger steak with demi-glaze and risotto, like fancy. Like, people are just like, oh, it's an affordable cut. You cook it right. It's delicious. But yeah, nowadays it's like restaurants, even at a restaurant, like you can go out and get charged, you know, $40 for a skirt steak. I'm like, what is going on? Like, it's just, but again, it's that valuation. It's, their skirt steaks are everywhere, but the cost has just gone up, you know. So
it is.
And again, it's a blessing and a curse. So I'm very lucky that, you know, I tend to buy in bulk, and I buy, you know, quarter cows, things like that. So it helps. But yeah, if you're not, you know, prepped to prepare accordingly, or you don't know a butcher, you could go out and either not find a skirt steak or a hanger steak, or if you do find it, they're going to market it as a crap cut, and you're going to pay double or triple what you should be paying, you know.
Nice, man. So, what about the market for like your pork steaks? You know, how's the demand down there for it? How's everything with that?
Pork steak? Oh man, so that I would say it's a little bit different. Like me, I mean, being in the barbecue world, you know how it is in the grill backyard world. We like pork steaks, and I know farmers and things like that. But at the same time, like mainstream, it's not like a lot of quality craft pork. It's big brand, kind of Safeway, things like that. A lot of the indie stores are not focused on pork. There's a lot of craft beef out here, lamb. There's goat out here, a lot of sustainably raised poultry. But as far as pork, I'd say pork kind of on the back burner. In my experience, from what I see, what I, you know, go through, it's just there's not a lot of variety. The quality's not quite there, which is a shame, because you get good pork. It's people don't realize how fucking good it is, how sweet it can be, what the fat tastes like. Yeah, I mean, and people are out there overcooking the shit out of pork too. People are cooking their pork till it's white all the way through, cook it to 170. Let it's like, what are you doing? You know, it's like, you don't got to do any of that. It's like, it's not the fucking.
It's not a brisket.
Like, exactly. You know.
No, it's not a brisket.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's a good point. Have you? So here in Texas, well, I'm not saying, like, I know there's some Snow's barbecue and whatever they got really big and they serve a pork steak. But one thing that we hopefully have helped shed a light on is doing like the pork butt.
Doing the pork steaks out of the pork butt.
Yeah, doing a pork steak out of a pork butt. So basically slicing, taking a bone-in pork butt and taking it to the butcher and saying, hey, cut me 1.5 inch steaks out of this pork butt, and then go home and then grill that thing. Or smoke it and grill it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, so I've definitely had pork in a similar way to that. I've had bone and butts done it like once or twice. I've had pre-marinated pork steaks cut like that. Bel Campo Meat Co. is a company I've worked with in the area. They're very big on sustainable, trying to be farm to table, using the whole animal, all that stuff. But they were the first place. Like, they taught me how to cut like a copa steak out of the pork butt, how to slice, you know, the whole steak, all that. And there's a lot of different cuts. A secreto steak you can get off the pork butt. But yeah, I think people look at a butt and just think, oh, smoke it, shred it. But there's a lot of different ways to get high quality pork cuts. Off of that, you can stretch your dollar and also, kind of put out a little bit of a visual treat for people. I've never had a copa steak. I've never had a secreto. I've never even had a whole pork steak. It's like you can blow your mind with a whole pork butt with just by stretching it and trying not to treat it like a same old pork butt.
That's right. And we actually, people have wrote into us and not wrote, like actually pen and paper, because that'd be weird.
They faxed us. They faxed us first.
Dear sirs.
Dear, grab them in the brisket. Salutations. No, so but that's not how it is. But people literally have said, "Oh my God, I did not even think about even doing this," and
it's so cheap.
So we can buy a whole pork, but probably bone in for
$10-12.
Yeah, say $13.
About the same out here.
And then, but by the time you slice that thing up, you could serve 25 people probably on pork steaks that night.
You get one that's really well marbled. You can't beat it.
You can't beat it. It is so freaking good. It's unreal.
Yeah, and you hit on it a little bit earlier, Chuck. I don't know if it's the 90s, 80s, or the 2000s, 90s. You had this whole drive of just the other white meat to where they were pushing pork and they were just getting this generic, bland pork that was just getting pushed out to the grocery stores. And it was just some of this, just no flavor whatsoever pork that you can ever get your freaking mouth teeth around. But I think we have seen, here lately, a little bit of a push of some of these farms trying to bring back the breeds of hogs that are super flavorful, super
way more marbled.
Right? Yeah, correct. We haven't really seen them much in Texas, but I'm sure if you move a little bit more further towards
east
Georgia and
Carolinas
and all stuff like that, you'll probably see those like the Berkshire and the other breeds of hogs.
Kubota. How do you say it?
Kubota.
Yeah.
And then I mean, we're starting to see that out here again. Growing up out here, sorry for the noise in the background. I got some sizzling going on. But out here in the Bay, it's like, again, I'm in Vallejo now. I grew up in Napa. I'm sure you're all have at least heard of Napa as far as food goes. But yeah, there's a lot of chefs. Michael Curello, who's a famous chef. He was on Iron Chef America, things like that. He has a Spanish tapas restaurant up in Napa. My wife and I like to frequent. And yeah, they have 3 different types of pork on there. And they have not just Iberico ham, but Iberico pork. They have crazy stuff. They have, what's the one that starts with the M? Mangalista, is it? Mangalista pork?
Yeah, I think that is it.
Yeah, Mangalese.
Yeah, Mangalese. So they'll have and you can get as a chop, you can get it thinly sliced and seared. But even going there, it's holy shit, the difference. One of them I was convinced was fucking bacon. No, dude, we just sear it, little salt and pepper, that's it. It's it's just the fat. It eats all fruit. It's a heritage breed. And then it's this one's considered more generic American style. It's oh yeah, this tastes kind of plain. It was still better than anything from the stores, but it's you can taste the difference, And so yeah, I mean there definitely is a difference in pork. I fucking love pork. I think pork gets a bad rap, one, because I alluded to earlier, I think it's overcooked a lot of the time, not seasoned properly. I think pork is undervalued or not thought of when it comes to salt. Pork fucking loves salt, in my opinion. I think
it does.
Pork,
it does.
That's why carnitas are so fucking good, because it's literally fried and more fat and salt at the end. And that's what gives it, But pork, I think, is often a lot of times, I put apple juice and brown sugar and Coca-Cola. Right. I want the meat to speak, and by adding more salt, you're going to let the meat be a little sweeter. So good pork, bad pork, I think a lot of it comes down to just cooking, seasoning it right as well, and and not overdoing it. Simple salt, pepper, let the meat shine, and you'd be surprised the flavor that the pork's packing.
I love it, man. It's just so. You know what? Like I said earlier, I was really, I was kind of wondering. I was like, how is this podcast going to go? And let me tell you, man, you have not disappointed in any way. I feel like you're just dropping. We like to say knowledge bombs, right? Knowledge bombs. And to be honest, you're very real about it.
To all my teachers that said I was a dumb shit, you hear that? I'm dropping
knowledge, motherfucking bombs right here.
Grown up,
that's right.
Clown to dropping knowledge.
Yeah. Hey, no, it's so good, and it feels. To be honest with you, I was worried because I was like, he did really good in the videos I see and everything else. I was like, but you never know how somebody comes across, like when you're interviewing them and talking to them, and just really and truthfully, we try not to have this as a, hey, how was your day? Tell me how you did this. What was your next step? You know what I mean? It's more of a casual conversation. And man, this thing goes like 17 hours right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate it. Like I said, I try to keep things boring, and even if you wanted to ask the same old questions, I wouldn't answer them because I'm stubborn like that. But no, I'm glad that you enjoyed it and everything. It's always a trip because putting yourself out there on social media, people do have expectations, and you want to live up to a certain type of persona, but at the same time, it's hard for me to fake it. So whenever people are always like, oh, man, I enjoyed it, or you did well, or whatever it is, that shit makes me happy because I can't fake it. And I don't want to let anybody down at the same time, though. So the fact that it went well, I'm happy. Hopefully people learned something. If not, hopefully I don't make myself look like a fucking dumbass more than I already do.
No.
Yeah,
You don't worry about that.
Whistling videos I post,
That's my job, homie. That's my job.
Yeah, right.
Hey, real quick, what is your favorite? What is your go-to beer? Go-to beer or drink?
Okay, so my go-to beer, I'll say a fruited sour. Some people call them like a slushy, a smoothie style sour. But I don't like IPA hops. I'm more into kind of the floral notes of beer. So yeah, anything fruited sour, slushy style. Right now, RAR Brewing, RAR, they're fucking killing the game. Currently got a Dole whipped pineapple. That's basically like whipped cream pineapple. In a sour that's been aged, and it fucking tastes like heaven. So
that sounds like fucking heaven.
Anything that's like sweet, party in a glass, that's my jam. People say, "Oh, you're gonna get diabetes. Take my foot off, motherfucker, and pour up another beer."
Yeah. Hey,
so if you had to pick domestic beers, what would it be?
Oh man, so that is a domestic, but as far as like a bigger domestic,
just the big guys,
Lagunitas all day.
Yeah. Lagunitas. All right, I like Lagunitas. Those are good. Yeah.
All my homies work for them. One of my boys is a big sales rep.
Nice.
I grew up drinking that shit. They started in Petaluma. I went to school in Katati, which is literally 15 minutes away. So, I mean, before I could drink beer, I was fucking sneaking that shit. Before, when they used to put weed in their beer, supposedly I was sipping on it. But Lagunitas, they put out quality product. It hits hard. They got something for everybody. And it's legit beer. There's a reason that they're taking over the beer game.
No, it really is. My wife works for the beer industry, and she has toured the Lagunitas distributor or the brewery, whatever. They have a badass outdoor area. They have a bar thing set up.
I get drunk there many a time.
And I think I saw. I think one of the vice president or whatever that it toured my wife around. He said he did like almost like $3 to $4 million a year comes out of their outdoor area, their bar area. That's how much they make off that one thing alone. So I was like, holy crap, that is ridiculous. $3 to $4 million what they make.
Because I don't even like to visit sometimes, like unless it's like an off season. That's the good thing about having Thursdays off during the week. But you try to go there on a Saturday, like in the summer, without a reservation. It's a college town. It's at this point, it's such a big brewery. I mean, it's cracking out there, but it's dope, man. I mean, I used to get real lit out there, to say the least.
All right, Chuck, hey, we ask all the guests that come onto the show if you could share a barbecue fail or a barbecue win or a cooking win. Do you have a story in mind that you could share with the guests?
Yeah, a fail. You're bringing up flashbacks and traumatic memories.
We want to hear.
People love hearing it. We're always trying to teach.
This is the healing process.
I really do have several I could share. As far as a fail goes, there's two I'll share. So one would be starting off cooking, things like that. I'm like, I had a buddy hit me up. Hey, do you want to cater? Yes, let's go ahead. I'm going to do this gig. All right, we're having a Super Bowl party. What we're going to do is we want you to do a whole hog. You ever done a whole hog before? Again, my egotistical self, young, foolish, trying to chase that dollar and live my dreams. Yeah, I've done a whole hog before. Long story short, it barely fit on the smoker I had. The charcoal, I had issues with the charcoal that was going out. It was a little ghetto-ass old fucking rig my brother-in-law had found cleaning up a house. He's a contractor. This rich old guy died and had a shitty little smoker out back. So they're trying to have people get over there around 11. They want to eat at noon. So it's like my parents live up the street from these people. It just so turned out. So I'm going back and forth to their house throughout the night, checking it. I go back from between 3. I think I get back at 5 o'clock. Or no, 4:30. No, it's 4:15. I was going for an hour, 15 minutes. The firebox is completely out. everything's completely done. I'm over there trying to get this fucking temperature back up. I'm starting to panic. Again, I'm working there, so it's like 10:30. I temp it, the pig's at like 170. I'm like, motherfucker, we got to eat in like an hour. So I fucking throw a gang of charcoal on and try to get the temperature up. I get it to where the fucking hog is like temperature safe to eat wise, but this thing is like a brick, yo. Like, this isn't some shit that I would have fed to my dogs, you know. I panicked. I looked at my wife and I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here. Like, I know there are people here at 11:30. We got to get the fuck out of here right now. She said, get your shit together. Put on your big boy pants. There's people here that paid you money. Do what you can to make it work. So basically the skin was inedible. The meat inside of the hog, after I butchered it and massacred it, I ended up having to chop it just to serve it because it wasn't shred tender. It was fucking awful. I have not heard from those people again. No tip from the gig, which I'm fine with. But I do know the son of the family, and I have since talked to him like, hey, bro, whenever you're ready to give me another chance to come a long fucking way, I'll do it for free, which is not a lot for me. It's like, or which is a lot for me, excuse me, because I'm now to the point where, you know how it is, barbecue and catering, you can make a decent amount of money. I'm pretty good at it now. But I'm like, dude, I don't care what the fucking ticket is. I'll do a gig for free. So I pretty much ruined their Super Bowl party. Thought about fucking quitting in the middle, made myself look like a real baby back bitch. And in the end, I disappointed a bunch of people. But I'm here today. The other story would be, and real quick, I was on Fire Masters. It's on the cooking channel. It was filmed in 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019, September 2019. Flew out there. You have 30 minutes to cook. I cooked a beautiful, perfect steak for these judges. Eddie Jackson, fucking all the chef, whatever. Andy Husbands, who's a barbecue legend, in my opinion. I cooked the steak. I do a risotto that I cooked on a gas grill in 5 minutes. I thought it was delicious. 2 of the judges liked it. Andy Husbands, the camera cuts to him, and I'm filming this live, and he looks at me and says, oh, the steak is perfect. Best piece of protein here today. The risotto has everything, and pauses, but flavor. And I'm the fucking Flavortrain. So to hear that on TV, I got off of that. I called my wife. I said, yeah, no, I'm not coming back home. I'm about to drive a bridge into the fucking Toronto River or drive off this bitch because I can't come home. So to be shit on national television, that's why I don't really trip off the trolls no more, because you guys don't have credentials like Andy Husband does, and it's not on TV. I can delete your comments. That's shit's out there forever. So
that's awesome,
bad
man. Yeah, for sure.
You got it out of competition. You know, it's like you got to just embrace it and deal with it and try to be better. So even when I think the flavor's good, add a little bit fucking more. That way you don't get embarrassed on television like I did, you know?
No, that's not embarrassing. That's just cooking, man. That's what it is. I love it.
No, you're right. It is cooking. I don't take it personal, but at the same time, I would say, like, cooking is literally a representation of you. You put your love, your heart, your soul into something. So when you share it with someone and they like it, that's why it feels so good, in my opinion. Just like that's why I think chefs, cooks, anyone that's involved in the kitchen, that's why it sucks when someone doesn't like it, because that's a piece of your fucking soul on that plate. I literally took time out of my day, my energy. I'm tasting and I'm sharing, putting my energy into this. So when you don't like it, it's like a reflection of me. And people will say it's not personal. Well, no, it is fucking personal. I put my personality into this and you're eating it. So this is personal for me. It's personal for you. So if you don't like it, that's a personal fucking thing, you know? And you don't have to fight about it, but I'm going to be upset about it. You know, it's like I have a right to be upset.
No, yeah, it's validated, yeah, without a doubt. But at the same time, it's like, all right, live and learn. Like if you could do it all over again, if you went back onto that to the show, do it all over again, would the comment be, you know what, best piece of protein here, the risotto was too much flavor in there. It was too much, right?
And that's what it would be. And
you were like,
and it's not like I take it personal in a sense of anger, but I take it personal. That's why, like, I care, and that's why it would get better, because it is personal. If I didn't give a shit about it, whatever, you didn't like it, cool, on to the next. No, it is personal to me. So when you say I don't like it, I don't care if 100 people said a meal's good. My wife always like, babe, that one person that said you should have had tapatio on the table, even though you don't think it. It's like, dude, babe, you don't even cook tapatio with the condiments. Like, I don't give a fuck. That guy wasn't happy.
That wasn't happy.
To make everybody. Hey. You know, I want everybody to be here happy. It's like, so I don't give a shit how I could do it. It's like, if I don't buy tapatio, I'm going to make my own fucking hot sauce next time. If he didn't think my risotto had enough flavor, I'm going to make it better next time, because this shit is personal to me, and I want it to be personal to you, and I want you to remember this forever. I want you to be a lasting memory. You know, it's when my clients say, dude, I'm going to remember this forever, I don't take that lightly. I hope they mean that shit. I want you to tell your kids, dude, remember in San Francisco, Chuck drove out here, he made a brisket for us, and it changed our fucking lives. That's what I live for. You know, it's like, it's those moments. And you know, my wife is my assistant. I did a gig a couple of weeks ago, and the people were so happy, kept raving about the food. And she's always happy for me, incredibly supportive. But she looked at me after a while, like after the gig, and it was like a weird moment. She's like, I see exactly, like right now, I see why this is addicting for you.
Oh yeah.
Like I see, like I'm like, that's it. Like you got it. Like I don't have to say anything else now. You've seen it, you've experienced it, you feel it too. Cool, we're good. So yeah, there is something personal about it. It's like you're exchanging life. And I keep going back to that, but that's how I look at it.
Dude, you're hitting the nail on the head.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, we appreciate you being on the Grabbing the Brisket podcast. Please let us know where the people can get a hold of you as far as social media wise, and also like what do you have coming up for you in the future as far as anything planned with the Chuck's Flavortrain?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I truly do appreciate it. You could be talking to much better, more handsome, qualified people than I am, but you're here with me, so thank you. As far as social media, where to find me, Chuck's Flavortrain, the website, Chuck's Flavortrain on Instagram, Chuck's Flavortrain on TikTok and YouTube. I think that might even be Facebook too, but just Google Chuck's Flavortrain. Something should come up. If not, you'll see a fat black ugly guy. That's me. As far as what's on the docket for me, I don't want to put any, eggs before the chickens or chicken before the eggs, whatever that saying is. But all I will say is that I'm very excited for the football season.
Go Niners.
49ers. Go Niners, exactly. I cooked for some of the Niners last year, and it seems like, I don't know, just them posting and stuff, but I've been really talking to a lot of players in the NFL. Got some things lined up to cook for people when they come to town and things like that. And then outside of that, the same catering and cooking, baby. I'm always cooking, trying to make people happy. So if you see the smoke rolling and smell the cushion in the air, that's me, baby.
There it is.
That's fantastic.
There it is.
We'll see,
I love it, man. I feel like I need to go to California and hang out with you, man.
Next time I'm in Sacramento, I'm going to look you up.
Yeah.
Sacramento, I got a lot of friends and family out there. My boy that works for Lagunitas is right there in Sac, so I'm always out there. So, yeah, if you're ever out this way, hit me up. I grew up in a household open door policy, so I'd be offended and disrespected if you were close by and didn't hit me up, and that goes for all you guys.
There it is.
Fair enough,
There it
man.
is.
All right, Chuck. Hey, man, we definitely wish you the best. Thank you for being on the show.
Yep,
Yeah.
do this again.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate all y'all. Have a good night.
Hey,
Stay
Chuck,
blessed.
can I leave you
Here's
with one?
opening voice,
Can I leave you with one little lasting thing before you go? So there's
Absolutely. What's up?
There's 5 of us here together, right? One of these guys is a Niner fan. The other 4 of us are Cowboys fans. Dallas Cowboys fans.
Right? Yeah. About 2 months after I met these guys, I gave them a gift that is hanging in the garage right now, and it's an 8x10 picture of the catch.
We're actually looking at it right now.
Oh,
I can see
You
it.
guys have been blessed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have been blessed.
All right, brother.
Chuck, appreciate it, homie.
Chuck.
Hey, cheers, fellas. Love y'all. Be safe.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
You
Take
too.
care, bud.
Dude.
Charismatic.
Yeah, I love this. I love talking to him. I feel like we're brothers. I feel like I need to go stay with him. He
He's
can come
so
stay
much
with
cooler than you.
No, he's not. The fuck he is.
I kind of agree with John a
But
little bit.
he probably is. He needs to come stay with me. We need to cook some shit. I'm telling you right now, this dude was so much fun.
Yeah.
I agree. What do
It
you
was a
think,
fun
Matt?
interview.
We've been great.
I agree.
All right, Matt's just doing Matt right now.
No,
Nah, man.
super great for him to come onto the podcast. Super energetic.
Super.
I keep saying
Super.
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 Talk about super.
There's other words you could say.
Super amount of F-bombs that was dropped in that episode.
Oh, for sure.
Hey,
Probably the most
Hey,
ever.
F you.
That's gonna be a record.
John's mom's not going to be happy.
That's fine.
It's true.
That's fine. She'll,
It's going to be a lot of earmuffs.
Probably.
no, you know what? Here it is. It's a real conversation. It's with a real conversation with a guy that's passionate about barbecue,
Yeah.
passionate about putting his brand out there, and the guy's doing things right. He is doing things. James. He's living your life, right?
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
Like
He's
this
just
is-
going.
He's just going. Here's still. There's nobody going to hold him back. You know why? Because he's going to go forward.
Even if he hasn't done it before, he's going to
Exactly.
do it anyway.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole hog. What do you want? Boom. Got it. Done. You want 2 of them or 3? I'm sorry, guys. You want 4?
Yeah.
No. Oh, you couldn't do 4. You can't hold. Okay, I'll do 1. Perfect.
I mean, sometimes the easiest way to learn how to do something is to fail at
Just-
it the first time.
that's
Just
it.
fucking
Yeah.
go in,
That's
just
it.
fucking do it.
Just
you
do
know what I
it.
mean?
What was like
So-
the fear of failing?
That's
Just
first-
like
Yeah. Anxiety.
the fear of failing just makes people just not want to attempt things.
You know what I would have done? I'm gonna show up at this dude's house like, hey, give me a whole hog. Yeah, no problem. Center blocks are coming.
Yeah.
I'm digging a hole in his backyard. I'm like, dude's like, what are you doing? Like, Hey, I'm cooking a whole hog.
Yeah.
You said whole hog, right?
You wanted hog.
Yeah.
You did say whole hog.
Yeah, I got some banana leaves. I just cut down. We're going to cover this thing up. You're good, bro. So, very cool interview. Very, very cool energy. So,
Yeah, go check out Chuck's Flavortrain, and it's all over social media. So whether you're TikTok, Instagram, freaking Facebook, I don't know, is MySpace still around? Or
MySpace.
Yeah, check out MySpace.
Tom's still around, right? No, Tom done sold that shit. He made a lot of dough.
He made a lot of money, and he's probably living a happy life somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, very cool. Appreciate
Speaking
it.
of where you can find people, hey, Alton, where can the people find us?
They fucking know, man. If we dropping F-bombs, we might as well just keep fucking saying them. Go to
It's like the South Park episode where we
Right.
just try to break them,
Grab
the most F-bombs as we can.
Maybe. There's been a lot, but guys, you know the fucking drill, man. Just go to grab.
Hey, grabthebrisket.com.
No.
Hey, grabthebrisket.com. Go check it out. Check the website out.
That's right.
Alden,
right, man. You can find everything there, dude. You can find your merchandise, man. You can go leave comments. You can go look at, listen to episodes. You can, ask questions. Like, hey, why you guys say F word so much last episode?
Yeah.
So
F you.
We'll answer all those questions,
There it
man.
is.
Yeah.
But like I say, just go look at all that stuff, man, and.
As that one guy says, is this a French kissing club? It's not. It's not.
Hey, it is. Your mom's going to be here in a little bit.
That's right.
Boom.
It can be.
So, hey, appreciate it,
I
guys.
appreciate it, Alden, and appreciate you guys, and thanks for listening,
thank you.
guys.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Peace.
Talking barbecue with you guys.
Thanks, everybody. We've been great.
Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. All right, we would like to give a special thanks to FOGO Premium Hardwood Lump Charcoal, Bolner's Fiesta Spices, CoolieNation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, YETI Cooler, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Texas Brew Hopper. We appreciate their support. Y'all guys go check them out.